I don't know if I mentioned this, but I recorded all three of my first three stories on the same day. I just happened to post them on different days. I might have said that in the other story video. I don't know. Anyway, we're doing Pokemon Dark Green. Alright. Does anyone remember Pokemon Green? I'm not referring to the Japanese game with Venusaur on the box. I mean the one sold in American stores with Scyther on the front. I seem to be the only one who remembers this game. I wish I never encountered it in the first place. It all started in 1998. Oh, by the way. Told you I had a copy. I think I mentioned that in the original video. I have an actual copy of Pokemon Green. It's translated. It's not like an OG copy, but still, it's Pokemon Green. Just translated to English with updated hardware. Whatever. You can still do the mute glitch. It's awesome. When Pokemon made... Anyway, it all started in 1998 when Pokemon made its way to the US with Pokemon Blue and Red. I was only 7 years old. A friend of mine had let me borrow his copy of Blue, and from that moment forward, I was addicted to the series. The fuck did you say to me? Sorry if one of my watches went off. When the time came, I was reluctant. Sorry, easily distracted. But I did. For the next few days, all I could talk about was the game. As a kid, your whole world can revolve around a simple game, like Pokemon. That sounds like autism. Shut up, I have autism. I ended up helping my dad with yard work a few days before my birthday, and I couldn't help but talk his ear off about Pokemon. Definitely autistic. To my surprise, he said, "Get in the car. We're going to Walmart." This must be where the story gets real scary, because nothing's scarier than Walmart. Oh, my... where'd I go? Was he really about to purchase me my own copy of Pokemon? I was incredibly excited. This was one of the best days of my life, but it would also lead to one of my worst. Because you're going to Walmart. We arrived at Walmart. Oh no. And my father told me that this would be an early birthday gift, and I could only keep it if I behaved myself. Oh boy. A gift with rules. And did all my chores. More rules. Cool. I would have done anything to get my hands on a copy of Pokemon. We went inside and made our way to the video game section. And there they were, sprawled across the shelves in a beautiful fashion. Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, and... Green! It's not a true ellipses, there's no spaces, I don't want to hear it. I had never heard of Pokemon Green. Someone's never heard of Japanese versions. But the Scyther on the front cover enticed me, and I had to have it. I grabbed a copy, checked out at the register, and went home as happy as could be. That happiness would not last. Oh. When I arrived at my house, I ran upstairs to my room. Bet you did. Tore apart the box and took the cartridge out. Well, now you can't fucking return it if something goes wrong. The cartridge was very odd. I assumed it would have a normal picture of a normal Scyther on it, just as the box did, normally. Instead, the Scyther was offset to the right, almost as if it was battling something that wasn't there, and it was almost glowing. How the fuck do you almost glow? The background was black, and underneath the Pokemon logo, it did not say green version, as I had expected. As you can probably tell, I made that thumbnail without rereading this shit. As unsettled... Oh yeah, As unsettled as this had made me feel, I placed the cartridge into my Game Boy. I turned it on and found that instead of viewing an intro like in Blue, it immediately brought me to a screen with only one choice: continue. Where was new game? Where was it? I don't fucking know. Anyway, I wasn't too disappointed. You sound pretty disappointed. My overwhelming curiosity compelled me to click on continue. I did so, and after a few moments, I found my character in what I assumed was my home. I tried to walk outside, but to my dismay, I could not exit the house. Aw, you locked the door. There were no stairs, and I couldn't interact with any of the objects in the room. I don't know why that's funny. There were no stairs. Oh no. They took the stairs. What the heck? I felt fucking self-censoring. I felt a sinking feeling in my stomach, realizing that my cartridge might be broken, and I may not be able to play this amazing video game after all. I shut my Game Boy off. Aw, very sad. Took the cartridge out, blew on it, and put it back in. You're not supposed to do that. It brought me to the same screen with the same option, continue. I clicked continue, and it brought me to the same room. I tried shutting it off and blowing on the cartridge. Fuck your warranty. A few more times before I finally became too frustrated and gave up. What the hell was going on? Well, so much for censoring yourself. I told my dad about the game, as if he's gonna know jack shit about fucking Pokemon in 1998. Go fuck yourself. He took a look at it. Cool. He was brought up to the same screen, then the same room, and he, as well as I, could not escape the room. Oh no! He saw the torn up box on the floor and sighed, knowing that his son was a fucking moron. Well, we can't return it now. Called it. To my surprise, he then said, I'll have to get you a new one tomorrow. I became incredibly happy once more and gave my dad the biggest hug I'd ever given him in my life. Go fuck yourself. Though disappointed in the game I received, I was glad to have the opportunity to get another one. The next day, my father and I proceeded to Walmart. Does anybody have a job in this universe other than people at fucking Walmart? We walked over to the video game section, and a lot of Pokemon games were gone. Half of Blue, most of Red, and all of Green had apparently been sold. There weren't even shelves anymore for where Pokemon Green had once been. What, they take down the fucking aisle? Wow, I thought to myself, Green must be popular. Bend around. I wasn't upset. I wasn't intending on purchasing another copy of Green anyhow, seeing as it didn't work out so well the last time. Okay, this time I grabbed Red. I had already played Blue and attempted to play Green, so I figured, fuck it. Trilogies, am I right, guys? We went home and I ran upstairs and I opened the box carefully, glad we learned our lesson in case we had to return this one. I took the red cartridge out, put it in my Game Boy, and played for hours. I played Pokemon Red until the sun came up the next morning. Authors making very poor decisions at an early age, good to know. To this day, Red is my favorite of the Pokemon games, you fucking Gen 1er, and is a great childhood memory. As for Green, I put it in a drawer and forgot about it until many years later. Okay. It was May of 2007. We fell in a hole through time when I received a copy of Pokemon Pearl for the Nintendo DS. My dad, knowing how much of a fucking Pokemon nerd I am, knowing how much I love the series, bought me it out of the blue, knowing how happy I'd be. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do for you and your loving father. Thank you so much, I exclaimed. Before my dad could even respond, I ran next door to my friend Billy's house and showed him. What? He said, my mom just bought me Diamond. Author, you need to know how to fucking formulate a sentence, because I thought you were saying that you told your friend that your mom bought you Diamond, when in fact your dad bought you Pearl. Fucking go back to 5th grade. Apparently, my dad and Billy's mom are having an affair. Just gonna leave that there for a second. But had been planning this for a week without the two of us catching on, because we're fucking stupid. Without another word, we started to play. We felt like kids again. Both of you are autistic. No words. You're just like, yeah, my mom got me this game. Oh, cool. My dad got me this game. After many hours, we stopped playing. Whoa! Yeet, said Arthur and his stupid friend, and decided to relive our childhoods and talk about the original generation of Pokemon. My favorite will always be Pokemon Red, I stated. Blue for me, said Billy. Both of you are fucking Gen 1ers. I recalled my first time playing Red, and I remembered something that I hadn't thought about in years. Dust off that little memory there, jackass. The game that I had played before Red, or at least tried to, Pokemon Green. What about Green, I asked Billy. Did you ever play that one? Billy looked confused. That's not how you fucking do sentences, you ass. Very funny. Now I was confused. What do you mean, very funny? Billy looked displeased. You and I both know there's no such thing as Pokemon Green. Well, Billy's a fucking dumbass. Because it's 2009 or 2007? Either way, the fucking internet exists. You could Google search that shit. I knew there was a Pokemon Green back when I first played Gen 1, and it was like 2004. Alright? No excuse for these assholes. Yes, there is, I said. Now he realized I wasn't joking. He was further confused. What are you talking about? Can you tell I'm fucking tired of this story? To my understanding, up until this point, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green came out at the same time, in 1998. Actually, no, you're fucking dumb. It soon became overshadowed by Red and Blue. Didn't you say that Green looked real popular since it just vanished off the shelves, and the shelves vanished with it? You still didn't explain that. Yeah. And this is why I hadn't heard much about Green since my younger years. This is what I thought, at least. According to Billy, the biggest Pokemon expert I know, which means he has no fucking friends other than Billy, Pokemon Green doesn't exist. At least not an American one with a Scyther on the front. Determined to prove Billy wrong, I invited him to my house and brought him to my room where I would show him my copy of Pokemon Green. I dug through the drawers of my desk and eventually turned them upside down in my efforts, only to be let down. Where is it? I distinctly remember putting it in my desk drawer when I was younger. See, Billy said, Green doesn't exist. You probably dreamed it up or something. Billy, you're a fucking drag. Billy went home like the jackass he is, but I kept searching and searching, only to tear my room apart for nothing. Calm down, it's a game. Pokemon Green was gone. Oh no, Pokemon Green is gone. Oh no, just buy a fucking new one, asshole. The following day I woke up, I would assume so, jumped out of bed, brushed my teeth, and continued downstairs. Were you doing all those things? Anyway, there I found my father with a large breakfast waiting for me. The usual Sunday. We ate and indulged in some small talk about sports and the weather. Both of you were fucking boring. I decided that maybe I should ask my dad about the game, because he really seems like a Pokemon fan. So I did. Oh, that old thing? Oh yeah, I took it from your room like an asshole soon after I bought you the new one. I tried to return it without the package. They tried to lie to me and say they didn't sell that game here. I gave them a what for and stormed out. They could have just told me they needed the box. Anyway, I think it's in my dresser upstairs. I'll go get it. Your dad is a male Karen. Go fuck yourself. As my dad made his way to his room, I thought to myself, Billy said the game doesn't exist, and Walmart, the entire entity of Walmart, said the game doesn't exist and that they never carried it in their store. This was beginning to make me feel uneasy. You enjoying this fucking story time? Lo and behold, that's not how you say lo and behold. You don't need the W there, you're fucking stupid. My father came down the stairs and handed me the game I had been searching for. Pokemon Green. I felt an unnerving but overwhelming need to attempt to play the game once more. Again, we're plagued by your fucking curiosity. So I grabbed my old Game Boy from my room and proceeded to play. I would have had Billy dissect the game with me, but he's usually at church with his family around this time. Fucking Christians. I was alone in my efforts. The game started the way it normally did, with nothing but continue to choose from. I chose so, without any fucking sidekicks, and found my character in the same room, trapped. Oh. This time around, being older, I was able to pay attention to more detail. Well, maybe your dad just fucking sucks then, because he was older than you are now. In my party was a Scyther, not so surprising. Level 25, knowing only the moves Strength, Cut, and Flash. Oh good, you have an HM slave. Could a Scyther even learn all those moves? I'm pretty sure he can't learn Cut. He fucking better be able to learn Cut, I haven't checked. I remember hearing that he can't, for some fucking reason. I ventured to my items, only to find nothing. And to my trainer stats, only to find that I had no money, poor, badges, poor, and 0 hours locked in, no life, which is impossible. Sure it is, it means you have no life. If I hadn't already crossed the threshold of weird, I now had. Well, come on, I've seen fucking worse in Pokemon. I gave the room a good once over to see if I could spot anything I missed as a child. Hate kids. To my delight, I did. Good for you. There was a boulder in the room. How the fuck did you notice that last? Huh, let's see what I've got in this room. Oh, look, a rock. As a kid, I probably thought it was a chair or something. Yes, like a fucking beanbag chair. You're an ass. Whatever. Considering I had never really played Pokemon before. Yes, you did. You played Pokemon Blue. Don't lie to me, author. The boulder was on the right side of the room against the wall. I've decided I hate this fucking story. It's long for no reason. Naturally, I had Scyther use Strength. Fuck you, author. And was able to move it. Can you move this fucking story along? Well, I'm the one slowing it down. I walked up to the spot on the wall that the boulder was in front of and hit the A button. A text box came up and it just said dark. Every time I hit A, it would just say dark. What the hell is happening? I'm wondering the same thing too, man. I thought for a second and remembered that my Scyther knew Flash. It's one of his 3 moves that he's apparently got. I used it near the wall where the boulder had been. A path became lit. A seemingly miraculous exit had been found. Wow. I grew less unnerved and more excited as I walked past these almost endless hallway. Very exciting. That was just big enough for my character to squeeze through. In other words, it's a 1 tile wide thing. Pretty sure they don't have those. At least not up and down. Maybe it's sideways. I don't remember. I finally came to a literal light at the end of my tunnel, as if I was exiting a cave rather than a house. I walked through, and where did it bring me? I ended up on the side of my house in what looked like Pallet Town. Well, I guess you were going that way. Mind you, my house looked to be of normal size, normal size, void of any protruding extensions on the side where the hallway would have been. What the fuck? This was odd, but I just shrugged and kept playing. There was also no way to get back in the house, seeing as there were no doors. Well, there's your fucking problem. Your asshole, construction man forgot to build a door. I walked around for a bit and found out there were no doors on any of the buildings. It was a ghost town. Or everybody else is locked in. Aside from what looked like Professor Oak's, it was a ghost town aside from what looked like Professor Oak standing in front of his lab where the door should have been.
He's like, oh man, I'm late for work. I forgot my papers and the door's gone.
I tried talking to him, but a text box came up every time with ... fuck you. No, he just said ... This made me feel on edge, but I marched on. Fuck that. I tried talking to him, but a text box came up every time with ellipses. This made me feel on edge, but I marched on. The only logical thing left to do, don't talk to me about your fucking logic, was head up to Viridian City, so I started towards the grass. Before I could even touch the grass, Professor Oak came up behind me. Uh-oh. What do you think you're doing? It's too dangerous for you and your Pokemon. You don't know what I fucking got. A battle sequence started. Was I really gonna battle Professor Oak? Sure enough, I was. The sprite for Oak was strange. He was looking down at the ground, and the expression on his face made him look as though he were troubled somehow. Oak sent out a level 5 Squirtle, and I obviously sent out my level 25 Scyther. The Squirtle sprite looked the same as Oak, troubled and looking down. I beat it quickly, and Oak said, "Don't go!" He then sent out, unsurprisingly, a quote-unquote troubled level 5 Charmander. I beat him quickly. Oak stated, "Don't go!" And then he sent out none other than a level 5 and equally troubled Bulbasaur. I finished him off, and the battle was over, but not before Oak came over on the screen one last time to say, "Don't go!" Professor Oak stayed there near the grass, silent, as I walked off towards Viridian City. He was once out of sight, and a text box popped up, probably from Oak, with the words, "I beg of you, Ate Due Dambala, do not leave, you won't be able to return." Okay, well this place doesn't really seem like a cool place to go back to. Unmoved by Oak's words, but unnerved by the creepiness of what I was now convinced was a hacked game. It took you this fucking long? I pressed on towards Viridian City. Before I could reach my destination... How much longer do I have? Okay. Sorry. This thing's a fucking drag. Before I could reach my destination, the light illuminating my way disappeared. It became darker and darker until it was pitch black. Just as it became pitch black, I ran into a wild Pokemon. Oh no! From this point forward, I will refer to this Pokemon simply as the Invisible. It was level 100. It had no sprite or name. I was unable to fight it. Why would you try to fight it at level 25? You'd be fucked. Because every time I would choose one of the Scyther's moves, it would say Scyther is too scared to move. I would run away from battle. Sorry, it's late. And attempt to move, but I would find myself running into the Invisible again. Before I could even take one step, I was stuck. This happened about another 5 times before I finally decided to stay still and think. Said Author, what if I use Flash? I had Scyther use Flash only to find my path to Viridian City dimly lit with a dark green tint. You know, the dark green tint over the black and white game. Unless you're on a Game Boy Color, I guess, but whatever. I continued, and the invisible seemed to have vanished. I finally made it to Viridian City, or at least a dark green, dimly lit version. You're no fun. As soon as I stepped foot into town, a text box popped up. It said, Viridian City, stay forever and enjoy the gym. What the fuck? That's what I was thinking. Stay forever, enjoy the gym. Yes, author, they're calling you fat. Stay forever and enjoy the gym, you fat fuck. That's the game, not me. Body positive, baby. I'm starting to get fat too, don't worry. Just in the stomach. I got flab going on, it makes me very upset. I tried walking back from where I came, but there was an invisible wall. I tried walking forward only to find another invisible wall at the tip of the town. Oak was right. I could neither return nor leave Viridian City. I calmed down a bit, because apparently we were panicking, and explored the town. Much like Pallet Town, the buildings had no doors except for the gym. The only person in town was the old man who teaches you how to catch Pokemon. Avoiding the old man, whom I had found creepy even in the normal Pokemon games. Why? What, because he's drunk? I tried the gym, it was locked. Cool. I walked all around town, and inevitably, I had to talk to the old man to progress. Reluctantly, I did so. Hey, so you want to catch Pokemon, do you? You want to become a Pokemon Master, defeat the powerful trainers at the Pokemon League, and enjoy the endless life of solitude? I was given a choice of yes or no. Endless life of solitude. I chose no. Well then, stay forever and enjoy the gym, fat ass. What the hell? I can't enjoy a locked gym, you fucking old bastard. I spoke to him again just to find the exact same script, because, you know, it's Gen 1. Only this time, I chose yes. He said, well then, you are well on your way to becoming what you've always wanted to be, but first, come with me. I will introduce you to a true Pokemon Master. It's Ash. No. He walked me to the gym and stood near the entrance. I tried to speak with him again, but it wouldn't work. Aw, you broke the script. I guess he wouldn't be introducing me to anyone. I tried the gym once more, this time I could walk in. Cool. I was slightly nervous, but thought to myself, it's only a hacked game, made by some mentally unstable Game Freak worker or something. Cliche! Only part of me believed that. That part of you is fucking dumb. While the rest of me believed this game was more sinister than that. Never mind. All of you is dumb. I hoped it wasn't the latter. Yep, you're dumb as fuck. I found my character inside darkness. The gym was pitch black. I had Scyther use flash, and the room became dimly lit with a dark green tint as I had expected. You're really enjoying this color of dark green. At least it's not dark red. Dark Christmas. The gym was nothing like the complicated maze it was in Red here. It was just a small room. At the tip of the room, was what looked like Giovanni. Looked like him. I walked over to him and hit the A button. He said, unfortunately, this is where your Pokemon journey ends. Great fucking game so far. There's nothing beyond this point. I wasted like half an hour to fucking get here. There's nothing beyond this point, and you will remain in this room forever. I'm sorry. What? That's it? It can't be. I walked around the room multiple times and tried leaving, but alas. You're not smart enough to use that word. I could not. I sat there disappointed. As creepy as the game was, I felt a strong need to finish it. It is finished. After a few moments, I tried speaking with Giovanni again. This time he simply said, "I'm sorry." Every time I spoke to him, that is all he would say. "I am sorry." I tried talking to him from the side, but it didn't work. I then tried talking to him from behind. The space right before the wall at the end of the room. He turned and said, "I am sorry, I truly am." A battle sequence started. Finally, productiveness. I don't think that's a word, and if it is, it's not the right one. Giovanni has no choice. Giovanni is a fucking adult and has more choices than a fucking 11-year-old. Came up in the text box as opposed to Giovanni wants to fight. That was weird. But I brushed it off like every other weird thing in this game. You know, because you're fucking dumb. The battle had started. Giovanni sent out is all the text box said. And the Pokemon he sent out was none other than the Invisible at level 100. Oh, I got so scared I flubbed that line. I once again sent out Sliver against what I could only presume was a Pokemon. This time I could actually fight. Oh boy, now we've got fucking bravery going on. Every time the Invisible used a move, it would say used, and nothing would happen. Every time I used Strength or Cut, it would miss. Every single time. So the battle was never going to end. Finally, I decided to use Flash. I like to think he just ran out of PP, and he just had no other option. What happened next was quite unexpected. The Invisible became visible. The Pokemon was none other than a Sliver, but a darker version. God. Much like the dark green tint cast over the town, the sprite was also strange. I can only describe it as a sinister, evil looking, I guess. Oh, as sinister. Fuck. A sinister. We fought. My favorite line in this entire thing is "we fought." My moves didn't miss this time, but they did little damage against a level 100 Sliver. The dark version of my Pokemon now knew the moves of my Pokemon as well, and after using Cut twice, my Pokemon was defeated. Giovanni came across the screen again and said once more, "I am sorry." I'm tired of this fucking story. There's your fucking game right there. The bottom. I was back in the gym. Even though my only Pokemon had fainted, I double checked, and Sliver did in fact have 0 HP. I walked over to Giovanni and talked to him one last time. This is what he said. "You have to find a way out. He has control over us all. You will only be another victim. There is a door." His sentence was cut off by an animation. The animation was of Sliver grabbing Giovanni from behind. That's pretty advanced for 8-bit. I stared at the still image for a while. Giovanni looked so frightened with his tiny little block form. It made me sick to my stomach. After maybe 3 minutes, the image faded out. I like how you counted or guessed. And I was back in the gym. The room was the same, but Giovanni was gone. I tried to leave, but as soon as I reached the door, another animation started. It was the same as the last one, but instead of Giovanni in Sliver's grips, it was my Sliver. Now I was scared of video games. God, don't watch Child's Play. You won't be able to fucking handle it. After a few minutes, the animation played out and my Sliver was cut to pieces. Wow, lame. Even the low quality of the animation, I'd still induced a great deal of fear into me. I don't want to read this fucking story anymore, it's boring. The animation ended and skipped to an image of my Sliver's head, looking ever so frightened as it lay there in the darkness, and a text box popped up saying nothing more than "you failed." Here the game froze. Fucking boring. Disturbed, I slid the cartridge out of my Game Boy and threw it at a wall. I ran downstairs and poured myself a glass of water. Motherfucker didn't have liquid death. After calming down, I called Billy and had him come over again. I thought he was at church. I thought it was to church to go learn about Jesus. I needed someone else to experience this. Needless to say, I was freaked out. Billy came over rather quickly. What is it? What happened? I explained everything to the best of my ability, and he just laughed. Yeah, right, he said. I told him I would prove it. I ran upstairs, picked the cartridge up, off the floor, wow, and ran back downstairs and showed him. He was unimpressed. How long did it take you to make this? I was a little angry at this point. Hey, fuck you, Billy. I didn't make it. It's real. Play it. You'll see. I handed him my Game Boy, and he put the cartridge in. He turned it on, but nothing happened. He took the cartridge out, blew it up, to no avail. It didn't work anymore. I must have damaged it when I threw it at the wall. Billy laughed again. You had me going for a second. No, end quote. Also, fucking learn how to sentence structure. Learn it. Fuck. He then left and went home. While I sat there, still taking in what had just happened, the moments before Billy arrived, I thought aloud, Giovanni said there was a door. Maybe I should have looked for it instead of trying to leave. You know, trying to find a door so you can leave instead of trying to leave. Trying to leave instead of trying to leave. Really, my thoughts were pointless, so was the story, because to this day I can't get the cartridge to work. I wish I'd looked for the door and avoided seeing that animation. In a way, it traumatized me. It's 8-bit, you fucking baby. And I haven't been the same since. You know, last time somebody said that they haven't been the same since, it was when I was watching To Catch a Predator, okay? So, fuck you both. As you can see, I still have the cartridge. Here's my shitty edit. And I scanned it using my printer. Sure you did. So you could see a close-up photo of what it looks like. I know it's a little blurry, but it's the best I could do. This game is real. The fucking end. Written by Christopher Maxim. Fuck you. Oh, God. It's such a long fucking story. Most of the story is decent, I guess. It wasn't too cliche. It wasn't too many cliches, I want to point out. Or at least the cliches that are in here aren't that in your face. But at the same time, it's boring as fuck, so I'm giving it 1 out of 5. Learn sentence structure, make a better story. I need a fucking nap, but I can't go to bed until I do the last one, so I'll be back in a minute. Or not, I don't know. Bye.